Oh, damn. I heard fresh start in September. There's a fresh start in September, okay? And then literally as I heard fresh start in September, the song Earth, Wind, and Fire September came around. So September is definitely significant. You could have a birthday in September, okay? I feel this energy of elevating our consciousness to making a final decision that helps us level up as it relates to love, or that helps us experience love in a new way. And I feel for many of us as well, it's this energy of coming out of this period of introspection. We've been hibernating in this collective, okay? Y'all have been hibernating. You have really been deeply reflecting on what you need to change. This is a collective that has been in this place in which maybe you've tried a lot of approaches and none of them have worked. So now you're like, okay, I got to do something different. And like, I'm ready to make a change. I'm ready to make big decisions, or I'm ready to be able to operate differently in order to have different results. Because I feel a bit of frustration. So you're like, okay, I have to elevate what I'm doing. Like I have to escalate this. I have to do more, or I have to be able to make a call here that is going to make me feel more confident in terms of changing my outcome. Okay. So yeah, I feel this energy of like wanting a fresh start in September, but also feeling like you have to directly contribute to this fresh start in some way, or the actions that you take will be able to help you call in this fresh start. What is my collective's current energy in love here? Yeah, damn. You're taking accountability. You're taking accountability. You're surrendering. This is this energy of taking accountability, surrendering, and also recognizing if there's some behaviors here that maybe we've operated in the past in which we were sabotaging, just being like, okay, I don't want to continually sabotage what I actually desire or want. So I will say this is a love reading that feels like it is representing a collective that has done the soul work, but still feels like your circumstances in love didn't change. And in this moment, you're like, okay, well, the only thing left to change is myself and the way I'm operating, okay? And for some of you, maybe questioning like, do I need to walk away from something, or do I need to distance myself? Or maybe you've already walked away from something. This is this energy of creating space based on the fact that you don't fully trust, or you don't feel like something's in alignment with your values, or you feel like it just creates conflict. You feel like it just keeps you maybe overthinking. So yeah, anything that keeps you in this place of overthinking, anxiety, stress, I feel like we are letting go. We are surrendering. We are surrendering it, okay? Because this should not be this hard. Truthfully, like love, connections that are meant to be in our life should not require this much mental anguish. That's a cheat code, right? If you're in a relationship connection and it requires you to do 1,600 readings a week, and you're constantly stressing about the person, and you don't fully trust what they're doing, and you constantly think that they're with other people, or maybe there are multiple other people involved, and it's like, it just keeps you in your head, or it just keeps you in this place again of anguish or stress, often that's a sign that this relationship is just not in alignment, right? It's not in a flow state, okay? Who are we connected to in this collective as it relates to love? Damn. Some of you are connected to an earth sign. They gave you a taste as to what it would be like to be with them, but then something didn't work out. So I see two collectives here. I see a collective that was with this earth sign, and the two of you were actually in a relationship and it just didn't work out. And there's still this energy of questioning whether we can rebuild this. So some of you, this is something longer term, but for others, we were with an earth sign in which they couldn't give you long term, or they couldn't give you something stable because they felt like the decision was out of their hands, or they felt like they could not choose this. And it caused this relationship to come to this head here. It caused this relationship to reach an impasse because they were not budging. They were not budging on whether they could give you stability or security, and you were not budging as to whether or not that was unacceptable to you. So I feel this like mutual energy of stopping because they were being very stubborn, or they were holding back in terms of offering you something they could allow you to build together. And I feel within this collective, yeah, you felt emotionally drained from this. Emotionally drained from this. Some of you have strong water energy in your chart, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The emotionally drained, maybe you even feel like because your emotions were drained here, because you were depleted, it made you not feel connected to your intuition. So you felt like you weren't making good choices or decisions in this relationship because this person clouded your judgment in some way. Because you cared about them and you loved them so much that you felt like your judgment was off, or you felt like you just didn't have good rational thinking or decision making, okay? What does this person feel about my collective at this time? Damn. Heavy, heavy, heavy energy right now. Heavy energy on this person's side. This is somebody who is going through it, okay? This is somebody who's like, why are you pushing me to this point? But also feeling like they can't live without you, but also feeling like frustrated or almost angry at the fact that you're going to push them to the point where they feel like they would have to make a difficult decision. But then at the same time, they're recognizing that they're not feeling stable in their life without you. Like they feel abandoned by you. This is the energy of feeling abandoned, feeling left behind, and feeling a deep hurt around it. Or feeling like you pushed them into a corner or made them feel like they had no choice. Even though they did have a choice, but they're acting like they don't have a choice, okay? So what does this person, though, feel specifically romantically about my collective? Dang. This is definitely someone that loves you. Definitely, okay? Definitely someone that loves you. I feel this energy of this person watching you, waiting on you to make a move, waiting on you to come out of this period of silence, waiting on you to choose a new path with them. But they're not really giving you much to work with. For some, this is somebody who's also connected to a third party, and it's like they're both in it for status. They're both in it for what looks good on the surface, but there's nothing about this that feels true or authentic or emotional. And I almost feel like you connect to this person and give them something that feels so different in the sense in which you offer real love and compassion and kindness. But this relationship feels like it's strictly based on status. I even heard arrangement. So somebody this is like arranged marriage, arranged relationship, or something that is literally in existence because of how it appears. And this feeling of obligation as to maintaining said appearance and status. And money. Money is in it big for this. I feel like for this couple, for this karmic partner that they're with, this is the energy of it's about money, it's about wealth, it's about status. It needs to look good on the surface. We need to show off. We need to be seen as being as successful or as having some type of stability. Meanwhile, below the surface, there's so much instability. But I feel like there's this desire to maintain this, again, based on how it appears. Some of you, this is somebody who's afraid that you're going to blow this whole situation up, but honestly, I feel like you have no interest in that. I feel like you, if anything, look at this person as, I have to stay away from this because you're trouble. Like this feels chaotic. I feel like for a lot of you, you're protecting yourself. You're protecting yourself, okay? What is this person's intentions towards my collective? This person does want you, but they doubt themselves right now as it relates to you. They doubt themselves. For some of you, this is somebody who's also with an earth sign. I feel a lot of earth sign energy on this side. Yeah, they want you, but there's a lot of doubts. There's a lot of doubts because they feel like you've been holding back. They feel like you are stronger than they are right now. Because in the past, you would be the one to cave and come forward and connect with them emotionally or express to them that you miss them, but I don't feel like you're doing that right now, okay? What is the current state of this relationship at this time? Waiting on this change. I feel for some of you, there is a fresh start. I'm seeing this energy of a fresh start for most of you. Again, I feel like you're not expecting this because this person hasn't been giving you any clues into this or any insight into what could change here. But I feel this energy of like something has to change. Something has to change. And like there's been this waiting to change for some time. I feel for many of you, there was a bit of enabling by still showing up for this person and supporting them emotionally even though they weren't changing. But you stopped. You pulled the rug out from underneath them. You stopped giving them that love, that energy, that healing, the energy that was actually preventing them from making this change. And I feel for many of you, yeah, like you pulled away the emotional investment that you were offering, and now they feel pushed to make this change. They recognize at this time that that's the only way that you're ever going to be accessible to them again. Damn. Okay. I'm feeling the initial P is significant here. P-R-A-M. Okay. I'm feeling September birthday on one or both sides. Okay. I feel one of you could be significantly older or younger. Could be an age gap here. There's this energy here about this person maybe not being your usual type until the two of you connected and got to know each other. There's this energy here of the two of you feeling like this cycle may actually be closing when for many of you it's just beginning. Love you, Courtney. For many of you it's just beginning. It's like you might feel the cycle is closing. You might not be optimistic about it, but for many there is a brand new cycle incoming that you aren't expecting. Okay. What else do we need to know about this? What else do we need to know about this energy? Yeah, I see a confession coming in for some of you. A coming clean. What are they confessing? That they long for you, that they miss you, that they desire you, that they're craving you, that they're aching for you. They're not confused anymore. They're not confused anymore about their feelings, that's for sure. They're not confused anymore about what they desire. but they also question whether or not you have healed to the extent where you don't want anything to do with them. Because some of you, you have really distanced yourself, and it shocked this person. It shocked this person. Okay. Any more insight here into this relationship at this time? Yeah, there is such a deep love here, truthfully. But I also feel within this collective, you have already released or let go to protect yourself. And you're standing your ground this time. You are standing your ground this time. You are not caving. You are not giving into anything that makes you feel like you're holding on to what could be like a dead relationship. Dead relationship. I feel for many of you, you think this is a dead relationship, or you feel like this is a relationship that is not going to grow or expand. It's just a fantasy. In this collective, you feel like this is just a fantasy. You reached your breaking point with this person because you really felt frustrated and you had this final straw and you didn't want to be stuck in this emotional storm anymore. So you're hurt. You're hurt. Okay? Okay. So what does this person want to offer to my collective though in the real world? Like actually offer to them? See, they want possibilities. They want to know what the possibilities are. They want to know whether or not there's still a chance. For many of you, that's the question they have. Is there still a chance here? They don't know the truth. But they're going to have to swallow their pride in order to be able to gain this insight. Their intuition is telling them there's still a chance. But in the real world, it looks like this is over. Damn. I feel both of you feel that way. It's like deep down in your heart, you still feel connected to this person. But in the real world, it just feels like it is over. In the real world, it feels like nothing's moving. You've been waiting too long. You're not optimistic. You're not excited about this. And yeah, you reached a breaking point. That's the message that keeps coming through. You reached your breaking point. And you also don't want to be engaged in any relationship that makes you feel like you're obsessed or infatuated with someone simply because in some ways they're unavailable to you. Okay? What is this person's next action towards my collective? What do we need to know? Sick and tired, been sick and tired. Yes, that's the energy here. So their next action, honestly, for most of you, before the September timeframe, is to be dissatisfied, frustrated, maybe even a little bit bitter that you're not coming forward. This is somebody who feels like you're rejecting them. This is somebody who feels like at this time, you are not nurturing them, you're not taking care of them, you're not giving them your energy or time. They may even fear that you are giving yourself physically to others, and that makes them angry. That makes them angry, for some of you. This is somebody who does feel very possessive of you in all honesty. Even though they're not offering you anything, which is odd. It's like they're not giving you what you're asking for. But they feel in some ways like you were theirs. And for a time, I feel like that was true, but not anymore. Not anymore. For some of you, brown eyes is a confirmation. Okay? Tell me what else we need to know. Thank you, Ayala. Yeah, I feel like this is somebody who's going to continue to be stubborn, at least for the foreseeable future, until the truth comes out here, okay? And the truth is gonna come out. I feel like this truth that they've been hiding or they've been avoiding acknowledging is that they will always love you. And this love is still very strong within their heart. And this is somebody who does not wanna let you go. This is somebody who wants to prove to you that they are capable of creating something within your relationship or creating a new cycle with intention. Like they want to prove that they are just as powerful as you are. This is actually quite a beautiful energy. I feel like, I will say this, I feel this person feels successful in career or professionally or in certain areas of their life, but when it comes to your relationship, they feel like a failure. When it comes to love, they feel like a failure. I get this energy of them kind of being either a people pleaser or like they spent their whole life taking care of everyone else but themselves. So it's challenging because it's like they want to prove to you that they're capable, but there's a part of them that feels like, am I capable? Am I capable? Okay, love you, Gail. Love you, Gail. What will be the final outcome of this relationship at the end of September? Dang. I'm going to be honest, for some of you, there's actually going to be a reunion. Thank you for the gifts. There is going to be a reunion here, okay? For some of you in the month of September, that feels like it is really unexpected and very romantic and kind of comes out of nowhere, okay? I feel this person thinking about what they need to do to be able to find a way to connect with you. They don't want to lose a chance to be able to see you, like reunite with you, and to be able to provide you some clarity here. What clarity do they want to provide when they do see my collective? That they don't want to be apart from you. Like, this is somebody who feels devastated to not have you in their life. This is somebody who's felt from the moment that you disconnected that their life didn't make sense. They felt very much uprooted. They felt very much alone. They felt lost. I feel this person still is unsure exactly how to act or to be able to take this plan and put it into motion, but they definitely want you. They definitely want you, okay? So what should my collective do? What is the advice here for my collective with this energy? I feel for many of you, like, honestly, although this person is someone that you love, it's like, I really feel that you have reached this breaking point. You feel this person causes you to be off balance or causes your life to feel off balance. You feel like this relationship takes more than it gives, and you felt that from the beginning. So for many of you, it's like you're having a difficult time even questioning whether you would be open to this. And I feel like your awakening journey that you've undergone has given you the gift of discernment, to the extent where you have to ask yourself, is this a real offer, or is this something that is moving me away from true abundance? Is this something that's moving me away from what I truly deserve? Is this something that's pulling me away from being celebrated, from being offered gifts or prosperity or expansion? I feel like that's the question you have to ask. You have to ask yourself, is this truly an offer that is valid, or is this representative of an old pattern in which you sacrifice for others to have more of what they need, or in which you self-abandon for others to feel safe or secure? I feel for many of you, that's the larger question. Can you truly trust? Can you truly trust this energy? I feel for some of you, this person is coming in earnestly, but I still feel their intentions are more to be able to apologize and to get your forgiveness. Some of you will accept that apology. Some. But for many, I feel like you're ready to close this cycle. You're ready to close this cycle, okay? So, any final word of advice here as my collective moves forward? What do we need to know? Your intuition is very strong at this time, okay? Here's the challenge I see with this collective. You have a very strong intuitive knowing, but your compassion for others can sometimes cause you to not view your intuition clearly, or not choose to view someone from the place of your intuition. Because you have such a desire to love, and again, to extend that compassion, that in some ways, maybe you're ignoring your better judgment. Again, back to the initial energy in this reading. Ignoring your better judgment, or ignoring this intuitive knowing that you know better, because you're trying so hard to care for someone that you know can't care for themselves. But I feel within this collective, the advice is to find a way to refocus that energy so you can truly care more for yourself at this time. It's like that's where you are. And also recognize as well that Spirit has a sacred plan for you. I feel for many of you, it is about seeing that this is an opportunity for change. Like we saw in the initial message, you are currently in this place in which you know you have to do something differently. You know you have to choose a different path. So in order for a different outcome, what do we have to do? We have to do something different, right? In order for a different outcome, we have to operate differently. And I feel for many of you, you really want to change here. You really want to be able to have an opportunity to be able to move forward, to be free from anything that you feel like is toxic or keeps you stuck. Even if you love this person, it doesn't mean that the love is healthy for you, supportive to you. It doesn't mean that it helps you expand, okay? I feel like this is a collective that does want romance. You want a love that feels exciting. For many of you, this love did feel exciting for a time because it was meant to be intense, so it could draw you into a healing journey. But now that intensity could actually be unhealthy for some, okay? So you will get the romance that you seek. You will get the love that you seek. For most of you, I feel like this change in September is you reconnecting with this person, recognizing that you don't want anything else from this relationship, that you don't feel aligned with it anymore, and being able to move beyond this in order to stay grounded, to call in the relationship that is in alignment with where you are at this time in the path. I feel for most, the future partner that you're attracting is the long-term partner that you've been seeking. And I feel for this relationship, it's more finding closure, finding a state of harmony and resolution in order to be able to ensure that you are prioritizing your relationship with self over your relationship with this person, okay? So yes, if it's not a hell yes at this time, I feel for this collective, it's a hell no. If you're not excited about this offer, if this person has nothing new to offer you, if they're simply coming forward with the same explanations, it is about saying, I am willing to continue to proceed forward, to be able to receive the love that feels true to me, that is unconditional, that chooses me in every instance and opportunity. Okay? So, I hope that message was helpful for my collective. Sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoyed that collective message, 1111 down below. Remember, you always have the ability to make a choice. You cannot control other people's behavior. You cannot control other people's paths. Frankly, you wouldn't want to, right? You wouldn't want to. But you can choose the decisions you make, the choices you make for yourself, and your guides will support you either way. But I feel in this collective, your guides are really wanting you to operate differently to be able to give you access to the new cycle that you've been calling it. For those of you who felt that collective strongly, you're ready for it. You're definitely ready for it, okay? So we're gonna do some general messages and then we will do some yes or no questions. We have one more spot left on the donation reading list if you guys are wanting to get on the list. The link is in my bio, you know what to do, okay? Love or career readings are 26, soulmate twin flame 36, full year readings are 46. Uno más. Yes, your guides want you to have all that you desire without compromise. Your guides would never want you to settle. That is a message we received, a download we received in a collective many moons ago. It said your guides would never want you to live with less. Why would you think that your guides would want you to live with less? Why would you think that your ancestors would want to make sacrifices and endeavor and persevere for you to live with less? Those who are connected to you want you to live amidst many blessings, want you to experience all the blessings that are due to you. Okay? So let's do some general messages, guys. We will do some yes or no's after the fact. Okay? What does this collective need to know at a high level as it relates to anything general coming through at this time? Spirits, angels, and guides, ascended masters, loved ones, teachers, positive ancestors. Overall energy around this. Love you, Steph. Okay. Oh. Okay. I feel like for this collective, okay, you need to be more patient with yourself, okay? Some of you are a little bit frustrated. Maybe some of you feel a little bit triggered at this time, okay? You could be feeling a little bit triggered by something. I feel this energy of a collective that's feeling triggered and just needing to be patient. Instead of instantly moving into a state of action or recourse or response, take a beat, take a moment, take a breath, count to 10. You know, maybe allow yourself to ground instead of feeling the need to be able to fix this or address this, okay? But I don't want you to judge yourself either or criticize yourself for experiencing what feels like this moment of being triggered, because being triggered, that is an opportunity to learn and grow. Our trigger points are access and doorways and pathways and portals into lessons or insights, opportunities for us to evolve. So we are meant to be triggered. We are meant to experience. We are meant to be pushed beyond the brink. We are meant to be able to have our buttons pushed. We need to be able to have those moments in which there is a blind spot that we didn't recognize or realize existed or still existed, in order for us to be able to say, okay, what do I need to do to be able to just sit with this, you know, ground myself through this? And for most of you as well, it's not about even like reactive behavior or feeling like you instantly need to heal or do shadow work or affirmations. It's just taking a deep breath and just saying, I know I'm going to get through this. Like, I know I'm going to get through this. I just need to be patient. So some of you recently got triggered by something. You didn't expect to get triggered by it. And maybe you were being really hard on yourself. And it made you feel insecure because you're like, I thought that I had made more progress in this. Maybe you even feel like you did something recently that, you know, reflected a lack of patience. You were more reactive with someone or something. And now there's this energy of, dang, like, I thought I had outgrown this or I had evolved beyond this. But I want you to all be more compassionate and just recognize that this journey is going to ebb and flow. And those trigger points are necessary in order for you to be able to continue to learn, okay, and continue to level up. What is this trigger point for my collective? What are they triggered by right now? Love you, Mel. Some of you are triggered by the idea that you feel like people are being deceptive to you or people are keeping things from you. You feel like you can't fully trust. There's this energy of like, I've been duped in the past or I've been deceived in the past. So there's a fear around that happening again. Some of you are triggered by feeling like you don't know all the details of something that you feel like you need to know in order to feel more safe. And some of you are triggered by this feeling of, am I always going to have to accept this situation? No matter what the situation is, am I just going to have to accept this? Am I just going to have to be okay with this, even though it's something that doesn't feel like it's good enough or true to me? It's like, it feels like a concession, but this feeling of, oh, am I just going to have to accept this? How can my collective work through this feeling of being triggered, though, with these circumstances? Like, how can they respond to this trigger on trust? So to be able to work through this energy as it relates to the being triggered regarding trust and feeling like people are out to get you, or feeling like people are taking advantage or staging a coup, what you can do is recognize how strong your instincts are. Okay, for many of you, the reason why we fear getting deceived or we fear others not being trustworthy is because there's something we don't trust within ourselves. We don't fully trust our ability to follow said instincts. We don't fully trust our ability to discern. And for some, it's because you've gone through many difficult relationships that, pushed you to that point. But I feel that there's an opportunity here to just recognize that you are incredibly astute, incredibly aware. This is a collective that I feel like is like eagle eye. Like you see everything. And you even see what is unseen. But it's more about you trusting that. I feel that many of you just have a difficult time trusting. You see things clearly, but then there's this disconnect from like seeing and acknowledging and trusting. Hey, trust your initial instinct. That is what reflects growth within this collective. When you see a red flag in a situation, be like, yep, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. This feels like a situation I've learned through before. This feels like something I've already gone through. This feels like something I've already experienced. Trust in that instance, okay? You don't need to know more information. You don't need to have all of the details in order to be able to have that trust. You can simply just say, okay, I've been down this road before, and I'm gonna make a quick snap judgment or decision in order to be able to trust, okay? How can we address this needing to, being triggered by this acceptance, feeling like we have to accept here at this time? Yeah, for some of you, what you perceived as rejections in the past was not a rejection. What you perceived as not having something was actually like the worst thing that you could have had. Whatever you felt like you wanted more than anything in the world, whether it was love, whether it was career, whether it was a situation with family, whether maybe there was something that you were really desiring for yourself, whatever that thing was for you, the first thing that comes to your mind when I say that, the thing you wanted more than anything, I'm here to tell you that if you received that thing, it would have been the worst case scenario. It would have been the worst case scenario. It would have kept you stuck. It would have kept you repeating old cycles, or it would have kept you feeling a deep sense of loss or a forcing yourself to have to compromise. It would have kept you in a situation in which you would have prevented your expansion, your transformation. For many of you, there's this feeling of, I wanted this thing more than anything, but I didn't get it. And now you feel like you just have to be forced to accept this, okay? But I feel the triggering here is more around this feeling of this was forced, this is not what I wanted. If you did not have that feeling of this is what I wanted, would this thing objectively, based on your view of it now, actually be what you want? If you did not invest your energy up until this time in wanting said thing and building up this energy of wanting it, would you choose this objectively as a whole, based on what you see at this time? Most of you, the answer is no. Most of you, the answer is no, based on your current view of the circumstances. But for many, the challenge that we're having is getting over this hump of feeling like I wanted this and I was forced to not have it, like this was taken away from me, okay? So, of course, this is difficult to experience, but going back to trust, we must trust that there are benevolent forces, that there is a larger spirit team that is supporting us, that can see all of the aspects of something that we could not see, all of the dimensions, and that they are guiding us towards something that is truly in alignment. And if we were ever thrust away from something, or if we're ever feeling like the rug was pulled out from underneath us, it's because it was necessary. And not only was it necessary, that was the only way that this circumstance was going to be healing for you. It might have felt like it wasn't healing. It might have felt like it was the opposite of healing. It might have felt like it ripped open old wounds. Truthfully, the only way the circumstance was going to conclude in a way that was supportive to you was exactly the way that it was executed. As drastic as it seems, as much as it feels like it was severe, the actions that were taken, and as much as it feels cruel, I want you to soften the energy around that, okay? I want you to shift into this place in which we're not seeing something from a place of perceived victimization, and seeing something from this perception of forces guiding us that truly do want the best for us, that truly do believe that we are worthy of good things and want to continue to offer us good things. For those of you who are resonating with this collective, do you feel that? Do you feel that your guides, your spirit team, want good things for you? Do you trust that your guides want the best for you? Do you trust that your guides are watching over you? Do you trust that your ancestors are wishing you to have a beautiful, bountiful, abundant, prosperous life? Okay? So whenever we are in those moments, when we are questioning why something was taken away, remind yourself it's because something so much better is coming. Something so much better is coming. We must create space in our life. We must create space in our life for a destined path that is so much bigger than this small thing that was removed. And I think that's a big learning lesson here too. Because it's difficult when you put so much energy into wanting something, and I feel for many of you, what you also did in putting energy into wanting this, you displayed or demonstrated the version of yourself that you felt like was the best version. You're like, I was, the most beautiful or the most charming or intelligent. Like, you presented yourself at your best. And you feel like the circumstance didn't work out, or you feel like you weren't selected or chosen, or whichever the case. And that is a very painful experience, right? To feel like we demonstrated ourselves at our most optimal state, and there still wasn't this energy of being selected. But what Spirit says is they don't want someone to select you at your optimal state. They want someone or something, whether it's a job, whether it's a person, whether it's in a situation, they want that to select you or choose you based on the truth of who you are. Not just, the Coles Notes, the highlight reel, not just the aspect of you that you want to share that you feel like will be the most engaging, the most compelling, the most captivating. They want you to be able to align with a path that is true and authentic and real, and that connects deeply with all aspects of you, perfect and imperfect. And they want you to be connected to a relationship as well that doesn't require you to constantly be persevering, to be able to be performative and demonstrate this curated version of self, which is exhausting even to discuss. This is a collective that is moving into a state in which you are attracting romantically, professionally, and otherwise circumstances, paths, and opportunities that have ease. Why do they have ease? Because you are presenting yourself authentically, and you are authentically resonating with what is true to you, with what is meant for you. Okay? So for this collective, we accept what is not meant for us, and we do so from a place of love. If you feel stuck in this loop with this past situation, no matter what it was, I want you to stop asking yourself questions about it. I want you to stop asking yourself why this happened. I want you to stop even thinking about it. And I want you to observe when you get to that place in which you are reflecting to the point in which it is harmful. And I want you to shift your perception and just say, this is the path that values me. This is the path that is in alignment with my faith. This is the path that will allow me to receive the abundance that I deserve. This is the path that allows me to move beyond any old identities that were causing me to perpetuate these narratives throughout my life of being victimized or disempowered or disenfranchised, okay? This is the path that allows me to heal, come out on the other side, change for the better, and to do so from a place of confidence, to be able to be the partner that I've always desired to have and to attract that partner. A relationship that feels balanced, a career path that feels abundant and prosperous, and miracles now being visible in my life as I was open to creating something new. It takes courage to create something new. It takes courage to let go of what we know and explore beyond, okay? I feel this energy of you being encouraged to explore beyond, okay? Final advice for this collective as we move forward. The same message we received initially. We surrender. We are fully invested in this new path. Give yourself the privilege, the gift of being fully committed to this new path. No matter what this new path looks like, no matter what this new path entails, give yourself the privilege of having your heart fully open to it. Because many of you, because of what you've experienced in the past, your heart is not fully open to this new path just yet. Whether it's romantically, professionally, or otherwise, there's still a part of you that is holding back. There's still a part of you that is assuming it's not going to be as good, anticipating you're never going to be able to, recapture what you had, right? This acceptance energy. Fearing you'll never recapture what you had. Well, that is a piss poor attitude to go into it with, and it's going to subconsciously manifest exactly that, okay? So open your heart for what is to come. Open your heart to a broadening of your horizons and an assumption that your guides would never let your best love or best career or best opportunity be the one that you lost. You think your guides are that cruel that they would let your best love be the one that you lost? The best job be the one that you didn't get? Your best opportunity be the one that didn't come through? You think they would allow that to be the case? You think your guides who love you more than anything, more than maybe you even love yourself, would allow your best to be something that wasn't part of your aligned path? Trust. The message is trust, okay? So I hope that message was helpful for my collective, sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoyed that collective message, 1111 down below.